I said to my brother,
we're not finished yet because we're gonna get the solution.
Okay, but I've been really trying to listen, and I'm really appealing to us that this subject is much bigger than just music.
That's it.
There's a lot more. You have to look into the food. You have to. There's so many. We've been attacked.
There's
a lot.
It's too much.
100%.
Yeah. The music is just one aspect of a wider conspiracy.
Because I've come on such pro my brothers from that stance. I'm going to tell you what I do now, innit? So, like, we've got the Hustler's Holy Book here, Hustler Far Right. This is one of our brothers' brands in the movement, and Rare Tete, you know what I'm saying? But basically, like, for me, I was one of them. When I came into consciousness, I started to do the Young Spray, you should rap like this, and I started doing that pointing thing too. If you go back to my Rebel Line stuff, the music was a lot more preachy. But one thing I realized is when I was linking up with my brothers, there was a distance between me and them now. You understand? And that distance, it wasn't helping the movement. You understand? So, and then I went through something that brought me straight back to where my brothers were, to the same thing. So man was laughing at me saying, yo, Ras, you said you left, but you're back. You understand? So basically, that's what's brought man on this journey. And what I realized is instead of telling Young Spray or telling AM or pointing at anyone else and telling them what to do, I said that I've got to be the change that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So I started making music like that. Even though I know, just like the Young Spray said, they're not going to play my music in that's how they feel. That's how he feels. He said they're not going to play it. But at the same time, I got a little bit of faith because I hear them playing Kendrick Lamar. It's going to be all right. You understand? So I know that there's a lane that hasn't even been carved out in this country. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like I feel like everyone's been scared to try and actually go the full way. So that's what we're trying to do, and it's not an individual thing. We've got a whole organization or a whole movement or brotherhood or ideology or sisterhood called Gang, guiding a new generation, generating a new government, giving niggas guidance, or Global African National Gathering, whichever acronym suits you the most, you know what I'm saying? But so basically, it just started out of our different brothers from different gangs, but in every gang you got a brother that loves his people. Loves his people enough to want to do something about when Edson died, want to do something. So we got different brothers from them different ends, and basically it's just brothers coming together. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a oneness, and when we first done it, we thought it was just going to be 5-6 brothers. Like, we didn't expect nothing. Bro, like, the thing went viral. We see all 50 to 100 people coming down to the thing. Like, we were surprised. It was at Speaker's Corner. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't even expecting that. So that's allowed us to mobilize in 4 ways. So now we've got the Gang Unite, which is the brothers, the original brothers from the roads who can now go back to these ends. I've got 20 to 30 brothers that come from there that can now go back to, come on, I feel your energy anyway. I know you've had the vision as well. We can actually go to these ends, and we can do what we've done with Skengdo and them, and we can just reason so they can see something else. So they might just rap about us moving through their ends. They might just rap about it. On top of that, we've got something called Gang Arts, where all of the different artists who do rap about these things that we say we want to hear, who do try and make that sort of music, and we're getting producers and visual editors and all of them in to create content of this stuff, but the problem is we don't want to create content and it has to look, the conscious thing always has to look bummy. You understand? It always has to look like it's in the 80s, like in the 90s, and everything up. So we want to try and make it look as good, look as 2019 as possible. So that's the Gang Arts. Then you've got gang businesses, which is different businesses within the community coming together and being promoted. And then you've got gang promotions, which is the people who just want to, the people that are saying, man, want to support. So they go and write a gang when we release something to show the online. So it's basically, it's organized itself into a body. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's a real body, and we've got the real brothers there who and all the brothers in the Gang Unite thing. The reason why they're there is because they just want to march down to the ends. They don't want to talk. They don't want to come to none of these meetings. They don't want to stand up in Hyde Park. But when you man are ready to ride out, ring me. It's them G's. You know what I'm saying? So like that's so. Like I just want to know. I just want the people to know that as much as I'm talking here, there is a lot of work and action that's been going on in the ground, and it's just for the community. You get me? So yeah, guys.
Yes, sir.
Any other solutions? We're here to talk about, is there a connection between the music and what's going on in the streets? We already realise that it's bigger than the music. Yeah? I'm one of the main people to say the music is a symptom of the issue. You understand? So I'm not here to whatever, but what I'm saying is, in terms of all your fans, all your fans that are, how can we put a stop to it or restrict it? What's your opinion?
There's no solution.
There's no solution.
Be better, Dad.
Okay.
There's no solution. Like, you just need
I'm
more
not
people.
arguing
You
you.
just need more people to look after their kids. That's about it.
That's the
There
solution.
ain't no solution. There's no solution, bro.
So there's
God's
nothing.
the solution, innit? There's no solution.
God is the solution.
What solution? You get what I'm
Okay.
trying to say? I don't know.
Okay.
What
Mark,
solution?
Mark, what do you think?
Me personally, education. I think that
You still get educated.
back to what Spray's kind of saying, it's down to the parents to educate their children. I feel like personally,
Fathers. That's it.
but parents in general.
What about those that don't got fathers?
Mothers? What about your parents? I feel like it's down your parents. It's down to us as who are parents to educate our children. Those who aren't, to educate themselves. So I think it's a lot to do with education. Yeah,
Okay.
and individual choice.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
love that. Russ?
Solution.
Yeah. I mean, you really talked about what you're what you're doing.
Okay,
But any other talk?
You know what? Yeah, I think the solution would go with a lot of what Leo Mohammed talks about. Because I personally believe that, I believe that, you know, the slave master, when he used to break the revolutionary out of you. I feel like when I'm talking now, I'm talking with the spirit of Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, and these are Malcolm X, Cardi Muhammad, and these are ancestors that fought for our freedom. You know what I'm saying? And my main thing with this whole new generation thing is, I believe the reason why our generation was effed is because the elders, we always say the elders didn't do anything to change our situation. You understand? But the elders, and I used to cuss the elders, you understand? But then I looked around at my brothers and said, we're the elders now. Can we get together and can we change it? And what I realized with a lot of my brothers is, I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? Not even a lot, but there's a small amount of my brothers. I don't know whether it's ego that we have amongst each other, as in linking up as brothers. I don't know whether it's a lack of faith in us in our own power. But it feels like the main problem we have with this whole thing is that we won't embrace it in our minds and our hearts. There's something stopping us. So when I go from ends to ends and I say, yo brother, do you think we could stop this gang thing? Man say, yeah. We wouldn't mind it to stop, but them man over there wouldn't have it. And then they point me to them man over there, and then they point me to them man over there, and there's an invisible them man in our head. But I feel like if all of the artists, all of them, tomorrow, if they all said, boom, we're going to do one event for the under 12s, rare, you understand? And they all actually went out there. I'm talking everyone, you know what I'm saying? Everyone, the old school man, the new school man, that would change the situation. That would cause such a big influence, because as a young G, if I saw these men come together, it would have been like, yo, the world's changing.
Come on.
Because you man was literally forming man's world. So if we saw the movement, boy, better not. If we saw all of them names coming together and all of them man want to say to us is, yo, just don't get him, you hear the man them rapping about it, but just don't live that life, innit? You get me? Try and live a better life than we lived. You get me? If just that is going to have such a big influence, and I feel like sometimes the brothers won't even know how much of an influence that would have. And I feel like that's what we should be here to remind each other of, the power. But my thing is, with the 12-year-olds and down, if we're doing it, I'm saying that something that's directed at the young Gs, because the young Gs haven't had those deaths. They haven't had to go through those things. And a lot of them have got the common sense to know that they don't really want to live like that. At 12, 11 years old, they've all got that common sense inside them. So I'm just saying that right now, they've got that common sense inside them, but they might go out into the world, and just like our common sense or our life, it might get tarnished. So if we put something there to tell those 12-year-olds, you man stop the thing, then we might be able to change it in a period of 5 years, 10 years. The 17-year-olds, the 20-year-olds will have a whole new mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it's a forward-thinking plan, because that's how they got us. They think 5 years ahead. So that's what man's thinking: 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Just very quickly on that point, because I do hear that, brother. I have heard that on numerous occasions about the beefs and what's happened, the history. And brother, let me tell you something. America dropped an atom bomb on Japan. They're now allies. The Russians lost over 20 million in the Second World War. They're allied with the rest of the world who used to be their enemies. The Irish and the British fighting each other, killing each other like it was going out of fashion. They're now united. Let me. I understand that, brother. I know the pain is there. I know the pain is there. But you see, brother, in truth, there are no rivers of blood between any of us. Yeah, random killings and revenge attacks and whatever. But that does not constitute anything like what these people have done to one another. Yet they understand. Listen to their language, brother. the United States of America, the former Soviet Union, the European Economic Union. Everything that they taught, brother, is unity. We're the only ones. Look at what we're divided over, brother. Postcodes. And not one of us own one of the streets that we're fighting over. Come on, man. These are irrelevancies. Somebody asked me, oh, why did your nephew, do you know why your nephew got killed? I said, I don't have to know. Because he got killed for no reason. There is no reason that you can tell me that you would take a shotgun and put it to the head of a 14-year-old, that you can justify, say for instance, you said, yeah, he thieved £5,000 from me, or he did this, or he did, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Well, yeah, if you raped your sister, that's a different, that may be a good day to die. I appreciate that. When it comes to our women in the nation, we're very precious. We're very precious. But the point I'm trying to make is that we can squash all of these beefs, brother, and we can come together. This is the point. But as black people, you got to understand the Willie Lynch syndrome. Yeah, we've been taught self-hatred. It's been beaten into us over centuries, and it's going to take a particular type of methodology to get that out. And so the program that we have in the Nation of Islam, it's called Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development. If we're going to become nation builders again, each one of us has to make a commitment to improve self. It's not about pointing the finger outward at somebody else. Definitely. What are you doing to make the nation better by improving yourself? And that's where it begins, in my humble opinion. Yes, sir.
Stuff that you're saying sounds great. It really, really does. And I'm learning a lot. Can I just ask that we start at the beginning with semantics? I'm hearing you talking about brethren. I'm hearing you talking about mandem. I'm hearing you talking about OGs. And don't put these labels. If you're going to be taking your message about your truth and whatever it is out there and saying to young people, okay, this is what we're the elders now, this is what we had to go through, don't live that life. Give them a new name. Don't refer to them as little G's, mandem. If you're using the word brother, I'm just saying there's a lot of power. Hold on a minute. If they're saying there's a lot of power in words, yeah? It's what you're calling them as well. Subconsciously. My son doesn't know anything about being an OG. And then he's going to go onto the street to find out. Don't call him an OG or him over there.
He might know, you know. You might just not know that he knows.
I hope he doesn't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope he knows, but and knows enough to avoid it. But I'm just. Well, no. He's no. He just. I'm just saying the words. Just the words. The words.
I heard the point that's being made about the words, yeah. But my main thing is, yeah, like. Didn't matter what words you lot was using, like, we're just with our brethren, you know what I'm saying? So by the time you hit year 7 and year 8, like, it's just there. There's no change in all of that, because that's language. That's why when my brother said da-da-da, when he said, oh yeah, this gang life, da-da-da-da, yeah? Because if you haven't come from where we've come from, and I feel like that's where the biggest dichotomy is going to be. The people that have come from it, so like when my man said da-da-da, and my man over there said, what do you mean da-da-da-da? Because he's been through it, and my man hasn't been through it. You can kind of tell my man wouldn't have been through it in the same way that them man there have been through it, just from the things coming out his mouth. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is just a language that is being used like it's like this system. They've got their own code of conduct and their own ethics. But let me go back to the what you were saying about the violation, because obviously with the squashing of beef, I would never go and tell man them to squash. I'm not even trying to speak to man about that. What I'm talking about is unity. I feel like this.
I squash beef.
Yeah. No. I'm saying, fam.
What's the point?
If I talk about squashing beef,
what's the point?
no, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not gonna go to a next man who I do not know. I'm not gonna go to you over there and tell you to squash your car. I don't know you from Adam. If it's my brethren like what you done, then obviously I've squashed.
They're not my brethren, fam.
No, but I'm telling you, I've got
on my ends that was shooting each other.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I've got brethren who was beefing, and we've squashed plenty of beef. That's what we do. That's the main thing of BFBP, squashing beef. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I'm not gonna go and tell man that. What I will tell man, yeah, because sometimes you don't have to talk. For example, with Mark Duggan, no one didn't have to say nothing. It was just a natural thing. You understand that happened? The man them from Wood Green and Tottenham they wasn't beefing on that day. The man them from Hackney, they wasn't beefing on that day. It was unsaid. No one didn't have to say nothing or tell them man to squash beef, but there was a feeling of unity. So what I remind the man them is if we cannot sleep on the violation of what our brother over there done, then how are we sleeping on the violation of what the system has done to us? Simple. How are we sleeping on the violation of how they've treated our parents? How are we sleeping on the violation of the discrimination that we get on loans? How are we sleeping on the violation of how we're treated in the education system? How are we sleeping on... So when we're talking about violation, this system has been for over 500 years, and it will continue, been violating us. You understand, fam? So what I'm just saying to the real G's is if man is real G's, then man's gonna deal with the real ops first. You get me? And then and obviously that thing there, as man's focusing on the real ops, then that thing it might fizzle out and become less relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so hard onto the police UK.
Definitely. Like you said, like.
Can I just say? Sorry, but can I just say very quickly in terms of solutions, brother, that as parents we do need to look at the school system, because the schools we're trying to fit. It's like, say, imagine your child is a round peg, and we're trying to put it into a square hole. They don't fit. The education system here was never ever designed to educate black people. So all the time you're forcing these children into these schools, and you keep getting all these phone calls and all these reports back, and your child's this and it, ADHD and this and that, and your young boys are being labelled, and they always seem to be in problem in these schools. And we got lots of people in the black community who are doing Saturday schools and whatever, but it's not enough. We actually need to be thinking in terms of a brand new education paradigm where we actually have our own school system. If we're not thinking like this, we don't understand history and we don't understand what we got to do. School, that's important. Social media. See, as parents, you've got to be back on top of your children, man. I'm sorry, I don't care how vexed my children's faces are. I need to know what they're looking at on social media. As a parent, it's your responsibility. The word parent is you pay the rent. You paying the rent, so while they're under your roof, you do need to force yourself back into their lives. The government is trying to force you out of their lives, and social services and all the rest of them, they're doing a job, man. And before long, you ain't gonna have no rights over your own children. We've reached that stage already. But still, you've got to have, if you're a man, you've got to develop the testicular fortitude to be a man and force yourself back into your children's lives. Because it's important. Social media is running them now. Look, man, drugs and alcohol, I implore you, go on YouTube or go online and check out Dr. Wesley Muhammad in terms of what Dr. Wesley is saying about what they're doing to the drugs. The weed that you're smoking today ain't the weed we were smoking back in the day.
It's not weed, full stop.
It ain't weed. I'm telling you, it is chemically enhanced to drive you out of your mind. It's killing our people. Believe me, but you see, even the Rasta, look, even the Rasta man, more time in my smoking things, and he's still mixing it with a cigarette. Everybody talks about cigarette, and they're saying, oh, nicotine. Let me tell you something. Nicotine is one of the most harmless chemicals within the cigarette. There are 4,000 chemicals in the cigarette. And most of them kick up nicotine. Nicotine is just, nicotine, yeah, go out. No, even better, boil it. No, even better, if it's pure, boil it and drink it. It has medicinal qualities. But smoke and the human metabolism are incompatible. That's why if you're walking and something a bird, the first thing you do is cover your... Because it's not, but look, the first time we tried to smoke, the first time we tried to smoke, I've got to tell you the truth. The first time we tried smoking, what happened? You coughed your head off, man, and you said, boy, that thing is nasty. But then the next day you tried it again. And then yeah, not too bad. And then the next thing you know, you blow smoke ring. Next thing you could talk with it in the corner of your mouth. So now we think it's natural. It's not natural. It's not natural. We've learned something unnatural. Check out Dr. Wesley and see what they're doing with the drugs and how they're chemically enhancing it. Fast food and drinks. All the new drinks that come on the marketplace, they're aimed at us. And we go and buy them. You could not pay me to put something called Red Bull into my mouth. You couldn't pay me to drink something called Monster. Some of you drove up here today and you drove up in a car that said unleaded fuel only. And not one of you who did that would ever dream of going into the petrol station and saying, what? Try a little paraffin today. I remember just try some diesel. You wouldn't do it. But we as a people, if you watch me, I've been going on stage for nearly 35 years, performing and doing different things. And every time I go to a theatre or something like that, there's a green room in the back. There's a green room. And in the green room, food, drink. Never, not once have I eaten from one of them places. I'm very disciplined about what goes into this. And you got to be this is your temple, man. Don't just put anything in. You walk street, man said to you, you want a biscuit, you take it and eat it. But you wasn't even hungry. Don't do it. Be careful about what you put into this. This is, Bob Marley said, my feet is my only carriage. This is your vehicle. Your body is your vehicle to get through this life. Protect it, family, because you can't afford to get ill and go into these hospitals because they take you out. So I'm appealing to us. I'm just saying some of the solutions. Yeah. We've got to become, there's a word. The word is punctilious. Punctilious. And what that word means, it's attention to detail.
Don't let the start of that word, man. And ain't becoming no punctilious.
No. Punctiliousness. Yeah? The word means attention to detail. We've got to become a people who, we've got to cross the T's and dot the I's more, man. We've got to be on it, man. We've got to be much more careful about ourselves and one another.
And be more disciplined.
And be more respectful of one another. And you know what I mean? Even though I may not agree with everything that brother has said, but guess what? That's my brother, man. That's my brother. And we got to get to that vibe whereby don't get all crazy against one another because we disagree. Yeah, mind the ego. It's bigger than all of us. This is bigger than all of us. And so, family, I really appeal to you. Look at this prison industrial complex. They're privatizing the prisons. The prisons are full of black people. I've been in there visiting our people. And I'm telling you, man, they are full of black people. The mental institutions full of black people. I was working in Broadmoor because I'm a plasterer as well. I can earn some money doing that kind of thing. And I was plastering cells in Broadmoor. And I was shocked. The place for the criminally insane, full of black people. And I'm saying, my God, do we actually know what's going on in this place? Up north, black man can talk like that. Hey boy, he wants to say something. And the prison officers who are northerners, they understand every word. When man a chat pure yard. He doesn't have to get a translator because that's how regular black people are within the system. Hey boy, I want piss pot take out. And the prisoner, all right mate, all right. He understands. Because it's home from home for us now.
There's definitely an agenda and been an attack, and obviously I'd say that's definitely right through slavery, you get me, up until now.
It's never changed,
yeah,
it's never ended.
Saying, that's what I'm saying, right through.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you take it back, right, I'm a bit older, I'm there's a systematic plan against us. It's always been against us. You know, from Maggie Thatcher days, it's been against us. And more effectively, when we all come together because of Mark, and they realise they don't like it. Social media, we run it. What we said, we run the train.
Come on,
they all follow. Now, there is no one singular solution to our problem. It's a combination of solutions. The first one is love. Look at that brother.
Come on, brother.
That's the first thing. We got to love each other and check for each other.
Come on, brother.
That's what we got to do. So these things are aimed at us. It's down to us to sort it out amongst ourselves. No one's going to help us with our problem.
Come on, brother.
We hold up the prison system.
Come on.
We hold it up. If there was no guns, there would be no trident. We keep them in power. We do it. Now they translate onto the knife. Who's killing power? We do it. I got a sister, a friend, she works in the hospital. She says 27 young people, black boys, come in the hospital every day from the age of 14 to 18 with fatal stab wounds. Every single day. No day off for Sunday. That's every day. Black boys. And what's going on now? The boys that come into the hospital and they're trying to finish the job. They come in, the hospital have to get security to back it off. That's what's going on. At the moment, we are in an epidemic of the knife crime.
Yeah.
It's down to us to sort it out. It's down to us as a bit older, seeing youths misbehaving and say, yo, you man, young lion, what are you dealing with, man?
I'm saying it's an epidemic, bro. It's just been the same, fam. They're just highlighting it more now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, regardless, if it's one
get
youth,
twisted.
one youth's
For
too
their
much
own
for me.
reason, they're highlighting it more now. You understand what I'm trying to say? Don't think the road streets are more dangerous now than it was when man was coming up. Because then you're going crazy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Man was in gunfights, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? It was very like, and they weren't highlighting it then, like how they highlight it. They've got their own agenda why they're choosing to highlight it now. That's their agenda, what they've got.
Well,
Do you
I think they had
understand?
the mob against guns thing, yeah, but I feel like regardless of what the agenda of what I'm saying is, regardless of man saying the streets are calm, yeah, what man's saying is, yeah, one youth is too much. As far as I'm concerned, it might be calm for you lot that we're burying youths, but I'm saying, yeah, that one youth is too much. Yeah, I've got a mum, like, you get me? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying man's out here for the little young spray, so he can get to the point where young spray is able to be here saying it's calm. Yeah, because he might die before he gets to that point. Do you know what I'm saying? So my main thing is, yeah, like, if we're talking about like on a solution thing, we've just got to think, yeah. If there was a slave master or an oppressor, young Spray, what do you think he would want us to be thinking right now?
Hey, what? I'm not born here. I'm born in Dominica. This is Petons. See what's going on over here? It's all exaggerated to me. This is Petons. It's calm, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? It's calm, bro.
Fam,
see where I'm coming from? It's not calm. Do you get what I'm trying to say? This is calm.
But are you saying then that because some things are worse elsewhere that makes it all right?
It's a bullshit analogy. One black youth
But it is worse.
One
It
black
wasn't really
youth like,
all right. The
it's
substance stuff is still going on.
saying it's all right, I'm
You
just saying
say
it's
it's
calm.
calm until it's your son dead, and then you say it's not calm anymore. Then you want to go and ride out and lick down whoever killed your son. So what I'm saying is it's not ever going to be calm. And what I'm saying is even if it gets 10 times better in 5 years, it's still our duty as black men. Duty, yeah? I'm talking duty as black men, yeah? To make sure that we're doing whatever we can to make it get 10 times better from that 10 times better. You understand? So it's not about how hard the situation is. If the situation completely ends, it's our duty to make sure that we maintain that. You understand, fam? So what I'm saying is we have a duty as men, and we can't run away from it, bruv. You get me? Because when we look each other in the eye, that's when it's going to be that time. And when the young kids are looking at us, I know for a fact, your son, every one of your sons looking at this, they can look at it and say, you know what? Ras is trying to fight for my future, you know? Young Spray wants to fight for my future. Leo wants to fight for my future. These brothers want to fight. Nana wants to... And it's going to give them a faith in themselves. But if they just hear man saying, you know what? It's cool. You know what I'm saying, fam? They're going to look at the thing and they might get the wrong message. So my main question to you, which you didn't answer just now, brother, is if there was an oppressor or a slave master, how would they want us to be thinking right now?
Come on.
That's the question that we all have to ask ourselves. If there's an oppressor and a slave master, what would they want us to do and what would they not want us to do?
They want to stay in.
Love each
They
other.
want us to rebel to get out of this thing, innit?
And what they want us to, what would they love to hear coming out our mouths? Oh, we don't need to anything negative. They love it. If there was a racist man in this room, he'd be clapping in his hand. But anytime we say something that's going to liberate us, you understand? That's going to make the devil man feel some type of way.
That's my opinion. It's calm out here, fam.
I'm saying to you,
Speak to this young man.
I would help young people who
Yeah.
going through this.
Honestly, man said it's exaggerated, but then again, if it being exaggerated, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because if it's not, I know, but I'm saying it being exaggerated.
Why is it exaggerated? That's a question.
How's that not a bad thing?
I'm saying that the fact it's exaggerated, and people are going to take it more seriously.
Yes.
But if you don't exaggerate it, then no one's going to take it seriously. So continue doing the thing.
You're right.
And then it's going to keep on happening. It's going to repeat itself.
That's right.
If everyone exaggerates, take it over the top,
Come on, bro.
then it's not going to get over the top again.
And you know what you just made me see? That it's not even being exaggerated. It's like the fact that we haven't been dealing with it.
Yeah.
So young Spray's seen that, 10 years ago when I was killing my man, like, when 10 years ago when we was out here, you understand? No one wasn't saying all of this. So now when it's not even that much worse than it was in my time, you get me? Everyone's saying all this. I understand man's point, but what man don't understand is back then we should have been saying all of this. Back then we should have been this frantic. This is how we should have all been. You understand, fam? But like I said, the devil man, what you want to do is desensitize us to ourselves. You understand? Desensitize us to when there's a death in our community. You understand? But we've got to see it as, anytime one of the man them goes, I see it literally as my brethren. When Mark Duggan went, I saw it literally as you. Like, I haven't met you, but now I met you. But I could have met you if they didn't take you. It's the same thing I see when one of the man them die. I see it the same as, like, that could have been my son. That could have been my, like, I literally, that's the spectacles I put on when I'm seeing these things. So I feel like that's where the passion comes from. Where I feel like they've tried to make us detach the thing and make, when Young Spray's brethren dies, the brethren over there says, that's Young Spray's brethren. And then when the man dies over there, Young Spray says, that's their man's thing. They want us thinking like that. But if we're both having empathy for each other, that's going to bring us together, and that's better for the youth.
The point, just 1 second, the point that the young brother made, again, we often complain in these events that the youth are not here. Well, here's one of the young brothers here, and not only is he here, but he's made a valuable contribution, so we should big him up. Big him up, man. And I say this, for some of us, it's been 30 years plus we've been warning on this. Long time. This ain't no localized, recent thing. We're just jumping on some bandwagon. We've been warning that this day was coming, and we're reaching a critical point now where this thing is, it is epidemic. It's real. There's some brothers mentioned Chi-Town, Chicago. The statistics say that it's worse than some war zones in terms of the rate of death of black youth at the hands of other black youth. Never mind what the police and the enemy is doing to us out there as well in the States. So this is real, and we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it. Understand this and remember this. There are nefarious, dark forces at the very top of this process of the drugs and the guns and the knives and the killings. Understand that once we start to make an impact in the black community, them man, they ain't gonna like it. Which is why, again, we have to be soldiers. We have to be disciplined. We have to be trained. We have to be an organized group of people in our communities. The Chinese, you can't go into Chinatown, anywhere up and down this country, and tell the Chinese, oh, you lot are racist because you all stick together and you got Chinatown in England. Chinese people will laugh you out the place. You can't go and say that to Asian people. Asian people lock down things, they run things. Asian man is so powerful that he don't even have to put on if he become a police officer, don't even have to put on the helmet. He can put the badge on the turban. That's power. Whereas the Rasta man going to the court, they don't even respect his time, his crown. Take it off. And if he refuses, they'll get the bailiffs and the police to hold him down and remove it.
Not all of them.
Well, they do, but I've witnessed it myself. This is how they teach it, treating these people. But my point is this: we have to come together as black men, and when we do that, we gotta build a community, build a structure that our young people will be inspired by. And they won't need to go down the road where some man can come and take them off and tell them all that, and you know what I mean, give them some trainers and give them some tracksuit and give them some this or give them a little car or whatever, because this is what's happening. The children are literally being kidnapped by these older nefarious forces who themselves are getting their things. Let me just say this last thing. See, because most of us, if we wanted some coke tonight, we know who the coke dealer is. You think the police don't know who the coke dealer is? But he never gets moved off the block. But you go out there and you say, oh, you're going to go and do a bit of juggling right now. You last about a week, 2 days, you're gone. Because a lot of these dealers are authorized dealers. They're authorized dealers. You've got to understand there's some forces that are behind a lot of this stuff that we know nothing about. And we think that, oh, these youth, they're just like they're manufacturing. They're manufacturing nothing. They're being fed. And they're being used, and older men are using them because they reason that, well, if he gets arrested, he ain't gonna get what I would get because I'm older. So this is the game that's been played. So let's do this because we have to make a difference in this country. Thank you.